The debates are coming up. Here's what we know about them so far, and I'll also offer my predictions about what we might expect to see. So we didn't know if these would end up happening at all, but here it is, taking place on June 27th, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, CNN, hosted by Jake Tapper and Dana Bash. So we know what's going to happen, and we also know that RFK Jr. is not going to participate. So a lot of people might want a more open debate with more candidates so that the American people can have more options, but CNN has some basic requirements that RFK Jr. is currently not meeting, which seem pretty reasonable. So he needs to be on 270 on enough ballots in enough states to meet 270 electoral votes, which he is currently not in. And he also needs to be polling at 15%, which he's not doing right now. So we're just going to have Joe Biden and Trump meeting head to head yet again in just about 2 weeks' time. So what's going to happen? We know for a fact there's going to be mudslinging. It's going to get ugly. So Trump he's going to bring up the border, the economy, crime, Hunter Biden. He's going to attack and push Joe Biden for sure. Joe Biden's going to be on the defense. He is going to bring up Trump's recent felony counts. He's going to bring up, the more chaotic nature of Trump's presidency previously. But that's going to be the gist of it. Here's what I'm seeing as well. People are underestimating both candidates. You have folks on the left saying Trump, he's so unhinged, he can't put two sentences together. But that's not the case. So I've seen Trump's rallies and him speaking for long periods of time. Yes, he does get kind of unhinged. He does say things that are inappropriate and out there. But if you watch the whole thing all the way through in context, it usually makes a lot more sense than he's made out to. Similarly, Joe Biden, people are making it out that he is delirious, he's demented, he's so old and decrepit that he's going to be up there totally incompetent. And if you saw the full State of the Union address, which I watched all the way through, you can see this is somebody who is still capable and competent and able to perform in a debate. So don't underestimate either candidate here. It's going to be close. They're both going to be competent. So that's something that I really wanted to highlight, is that we are going to see a legitimate debate between two competent individuals. But who's going to win? That's the important thing, right? Who's going to win? I think that if you want to look at who's going to win, the simplest way to do that is to look back at what happened last time. So 4 years ago, 2020, there was several debates between Trump and Biden, and ultimately Biden won. Not by a lot, by a little, by just enough to just get his way over the finish line. And I think that might be what happens at this time as well, too. It's going to be close. It's not going to be a blowout. Nobody's going to run circles around the other candidate. Trump might also win if he's able to trip up Joe Biden, if Joe Biden finds himself having like a senior moment where he loses his place, mixes up his words, and Trump can capitalize on that. That could go really bad for Biden. And similarly for Biden, if he catches Trump saying something so outrageous and obnoxious and offensive, that might put him further over the edge to winning this debate. Now, no matter who wins the debate, will that affect the election at all? That's a legitimate question. It might not. A lot of people might not see the debate, or whoever sees the debate, they might do it through the lens of these separate media entities. Like if you're, a Trump supporter, you might see his clip on, Fox News. If you're a Biden supporter, you might see his clips on MSNBC. And no matter who, objectively wins, you're just going to see the clips taken out of context and framed in a way that makes that candidate seem more favorable. So at the end of the day, the weird thing here is that the debates might not matter as much as you might typically think. But I am glad that they're happening because it's important that we see these two candidates, their ideas, their behavior, their actions, their speech in real time on a national stage. So very important. Okay. And Trump, in his usual fashion, is demanding that Biden takes a drug test. Let's take a look.
Biden should have a cognitive test, number one. They say it's unconstitutional. That's a good excuse. He should have a cognitive test, and before the debate in 2 weeks, he should take a drug test, because I'm willing to take one.
What do you think about that, Charlie?
Okay, so Trump is demanding that Biden take a cognitive and drug test, which this is a PR thing. I don't think he really wants to do that. I mean, didn't he skip out of taking a COVID test before the debates in 2020? So he's not really one to, follow through with these kinds of things. I think this stems from the State of the Union address, where Biden exceeded expectations, and then you had people saying that he was like on drugs or he was hopped up on some kind of stimulants, which nobody really seemed to specify, and that's what they're suggesting. And that's what he's suggesting that Joe Biden should be tested for here, which just seems pretty bizarre. I think it's just more him saying something just to get a reaction. I don't think that that's a real legitimate complaint that he has. Because what could Joe Biden be on that would really make him perform that much better during a debate? Caffeine, maybe some kind of stimulant. Okay, aren't a lot of politicians probably on some kind of medication that might, stimulate them during a performance? So Trump, in his usual fashion, demanding a cognitive and drug test. What do you think about that? There was also talk about Elon Musk hosting a debate between Trump and Biden. Now that I don't think is going to happen. I don't think Biden would agree to that, because Elon Musk is probably, more leaning towards Trump, although you could argue that CNN leans more towards Biden. But I don't think that would happen, because he's not an experienced, reputable journalist and debate moderator. But he will be hosting town halls through X, his platform, with Trump and with RFK Jr. I believe it's going to be separate town halls, but that's something to look out for. And at the end of the day, if you want to know what's going to happen in a debate between Trump and Biden, just look at what happened in the last debate. And frankly, with all debates nowadays, they have devolved into shouting matches, talking over each other. It's going to really be up to the debate moderators to make sure that we don't see something like this, which happened last time.
The question is, Justice, radical left.
Will you shut up, man?
Listen, who is on your list, Joe?
Who's
on your list?
Right.
Gentlemen, I think we've ended this.
He's going to pack the court.
We're
not going to give a list.
We have ended this segment. We're going to move on to the second segment.
That was really a productive segment, wasn't it?
So what do you think is going to happen in this upcoming debate? Are you interested to see it? Who do you think will win? Let me know.